Welcome to Public Safety Talk Radio, the podcast for all of our heroes of public safety, including law enforcement professionals, firefighters, EMTs, corrections officers, healthcare workers, and more. The show is produced by the POCUA and is founded upon its Soundness Initiative. This episode is sponsored by the Finest Service Organization, a provider of line of duty death loan protection through many of our POCUA institutions. I'm your host for Public Safety Talk Radio, Ken Bator. And Happy New Year. I know we're a few days from 2022. Frankly, the original plan was to take the last couple of weeks off from Public Safety Talk Radio in December of 2021. But first, we had that great conversation with Scott and Liz Brown that deserved 2 episodes because we had a lot of content, and we try to keep our episodes to about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. So I wanted to break that up, and that turned out to be December 22nd. And so that only left December 29th. And so I just wanted to create this very short episode, which is a sincere wish for a happy new year, not just a happy new year, an awesome kick-ass new year for all of our first responders, all of our public safety professionals out there, all the folks that work in the prisons, all the folks that work in the emergency rooms, the 911 dispatchers, the folks that work behind the scenes, the analysts, everybody that works in the law enforcement, the firefighter, the EMT medical community. God bless you, and let's have an awesome 2022. I think it's time we get back to, just a blow it out of the park type of year, because the last couple of years have been such a struggle, whether it's been with COVID or unrest or just other things that have been going on. I can go on and list them, but I don't want to do that. I want to wish you, and I am wishing you, a very happy and awesome 2022. And while I have a little bit of time in this episode 60 that I hadn't really expected to have, but wanted to give you a little bit of insight into the POCUA in the next year. We're going full bore. I know we've had to postpone some conferences. Some of them, I really had to lose sleep on, like the one in October of 2021 that is now moved to March of 2022. That's the Public Safety Business Summit. Really looking forward to that. We're going full bore on that. Omicron be damned. From what I'm seeing, it's a very mild form of COVID. A lot of us have vaccines. A lot of us are taking the precautions that we personally need to be safe. And I believe it is more than time for us to get back in person and collaborate as businesses that serve first responders. And that is going to be our focus for the Public Safety Business Summit, the first ever Public Safety Business Summit in March of 2022 in Savannah, Georgia. I'm also planning a few other in-person events. Our goal and my personal vision for the POCUA is to bring many different types of businesses and organizations that serve our first responders out there together. That we were originally credit union based. That's why we have the CU in our name. And we're certainly not going to ignore that core piece of our history. In fact, what I am planning, which I would say is about an 85 to 90% chance that we will roll with this, is in mid-June, have a credit union only day for credit unions that serve first responders. You need to be a member of the POCUA, but if you're a member of the POCUA, you're a credit union and you're serving first responders, that's going to be a day for you. It's going to be a small group, similar to what some may remember to be our fall collaboration meeting. It'll probably be about 15 people or so. But if you remember those, they were highly collaborative. We had a very loose agenda, enough to give us some structure, but enough to give us a lot of flexibility to give our professionals what they need in that day, which will be networking, which will be learning, and which will be some fun too. Well, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun at our events. So I'm planning a POCUA credit union only day. I believe that is June 17th, 2022 in the Phoenix area. I am also planning, and I could use some feedback from you folks out there. I know that there are a lot of podcasters, authors, even video show and filmmakers that work in the first responder industry. Some folks that are former police officers, firefighters, EMTs that do shows, that have written books, that do a combination of those things. I want to get all those folks together, especially given some of the resources that I have at my disposal from my writing at Podcast Magazine. I have some very preliminary, and I do mean very preliminary plans to possibly have that in early March in Vegas, maybe later in the year. But I want feedback from you. The Public Safety Business Summit is for everybody, any business, for profit or not for profit, that serves first responders. So even if you're not a member, we want you to be with us in Savannah, Georgia. But we're going to have, as I mentioned again, some one-day intensives that are collaborative for specific businesses that serve first responders. We've got the Credit Union Only Day. Also planning what I'm calling a POCUA Creators Day for podcasters, authors, filmmakers, those types of businesses that serve first responders in that way. I'm also looking at, in essence, a small business day. I know we have a lot of first responders, especially in the law enforcement community, that have left their profession and have started businesses. And we want to make sure that we're giving you the resources that you need. So those of you folks that are listening or watching this particular episode of Public Safety Talk Radio, I want your feedback. I want your feedback on what you want to see in the Credit Union Only Day that is almost set in stone for June 17th in Phoenix. I want to hear from my podcasters, my authors, my creators on what you want from a creator only day. I want that feedback because I really want to pull that off in either one day, maybe even a day and a half, 2 day, depending on the feedback and the needs that I'm getting from folks. And for all you folks that are running small businesses, that are former first responders and or running businesses specifically for first responders, for-profit businesses, I want to hear from you as well. I'm really excited about what we're going to grow and what we're going to build together. Not only credit unions, which are such a needed sector for our first responders out there, but for all businesses, all creators that serve first responders and other public safety professionals out there. So thanks for taking a little bit of time with me today. Sincerely, happy kick butt new year for 2022. Let's make it happen. I'm here for you. I want your feedback. I want to engage with you. So if you have any type of suggestions, anything that you're looking for that you can't find out there, I want to hear about it, because it's quite possible that we can build something, or that we know of another organization that already does something like what you're looking for, and we can certainly refer you there. So I hope you've had an awesome holiday season to this point, and let's make 2022 the best year for all public safety professionals. Thanks for either watching or listening to this episode of Public Safety Talk Radio, and we'll definitely be back with you next week with another great guest. Public Safety Talk Radio is produced by the POCUA. POCUA is a consortium of financial institutions serving law enforcement as well as other first responders and public safety professionals. To learn more about our association and to find one of our credit unions or service providers near you, go to www.policecreditunions.com. And always remember, if you aren't working with one of our POCUA credit unions, you're just banking with an institution that just so happens to serve first responders. As a public safety professional, you and your family deserve better. find a POCUA credit union today.